Hello and welcome to this new course. And today we learned about Opulence PHP. It's a cool framework. I learned for the first time Opulence PHP back in 2015, 2016. And it's a really nice framework, not really heavy. To me, it's easier to get started rather than, it's easier for beginners than with other frameworks such as Symfony and Symfony and Laravel. Laravel, you probably know Laravel for sure as well. But yes, Opulence framework, it's really cool. It's a really good one and it's really open source. So they actually have the GitHub here, Opulence as a main repo. And always when you want to start a new library or a new framework, a good habit to do always is to see when the last commit was done, but that doesn't mean a lot, but the amount of commits is not a really popular framework, although, not that much, but the newest version was on the 23rd of March this year. So you see, they still update it quite a few releases a year, so it's still all right. And now they are on a version, on a stable version, because it's V1. Before they used to be on a 0 something version. Before you see RC, and that was alpha version. So that's nice. It's good to know. And it's MIT license, so it's the best open source license. There is absolutely no restrictions for you. The requirement is PHP 7.3, so that's good too actually. They use a new PHP version as a minimum one, so that's good. If they would say PHP 5, the PHP is maybe a bit old, like WordPress, they are compatible with PHP 5, and that's why WordPress, the code in WordPress is not the best, because they use a lot of, more like old-fashioned patterns for WordPress. But here, no, and they do also TDD. So TDD is, they make a story. Oh no, it's not BDD, sorry. TDD is that they make the test first and then they write the code. And it's a really good way to make sure that everything is tested and you build your test in a better way. Sensitivity, reliable, yes, hopefully. And what else is really good with them is that it's really a lightweight framework. It's simple, it's secure, and it's scalable. So this is exactly what we want. When you start by looking at a framework, actually it's also always nice also to have a look in the composer.json file, because it mentions a few requirements and what they use. As well, you can see the dependencies they rely on. So here, the dependency OpenSSL, oh no, that's the extension. Require dev, it's, so OpenSSL is, when it starts with X as a prefix, it's an extension. So here, there's no actually any dependencies, just closure and PSR log, but I think they rely on different packages they have probably. But yeah, it's really a lightweight framework, and as you can see, no, they don't rely on much other dependencies. Some frameworks, they rely on like some libraries from Symfony, Laravel. At least when they started, they used to be on top of Symfony. I mean, they were using a lot of packages from Symfony. Now I'm not sure if it's still the case, but definitely not this one, not Opulence PHP. So let's start our project. So to start a project, actually, you do composer, create project, Opulence, and then the name of the project. So let's do it. And that actually, this one will be the folder where it goes, and then prefix dir. So the name will be Opulence and then project. Let's do exactly what they mentioned here. And let's wait. And you will see it will be really just a few files. Composer will download everything. and let's after in the next video we will see how to get started with it. But you can see, yeah, you will see it's a cool framework, and that's just a really simple example how to do hello world. So welcome to Opulence as a name, and it just use the router, the path. So it's really good when you create an API and with new endpoint. So that will be your endpoint, a get request, and it returns this. Oops, I have an issue with use. Sometimes this happens actually. So don't worry. I might go actually to the code folder where I have all the projects, and I will actually create the project from there. But yeah, I don't know what happened for me. So let's see how it goes. That's the name of my project actually. Hopefully here it would be fine. Oh yeah, still use Composer 1. I should upgrade actually my Composer to version 2. Let's see how it goes. In the meantime, I will already show you the doc. So, oh yeah, that's a requirement. Normally I have PHP 8. So when you check your PHP version, you do PHP -v, you see PHP 8. So that's all good. And then OpenSSL and MB string is when you use different encoding characters. And also if you use like getText to translate your website, you will have to use MB string. But especially for a lot of different functions where, like for instance, you use strlen, so length, to know the length of a string. If the string contains some Russian Cyrillic alphabet or Chinese characters or so on, it won't count the same way as English alphabet. And so you have to use MB strlen, MB stringlen, and with that one, it will count no matter what kind of alphabet or characters you use. But however, for using MB strlen, you need to have the MB string extension. That's why probably they require it, because the framework probably use it, which is good actually. It's a bit slow, as you can see. Let's still dig into the documentation. So that's to install it. Be sure, yeah, the server. You can download Composer here. The libraries, Opulence is broken. Oh yeah, you see, that's really nice because the architecture of the project is kind of nice for the framework, because everything is separated with the validation, the input validation, probably session, the views, where you have to quickly request a view from an HTML or a PHP plain view file, routine, where this ORM is for the to query easily a table from your database with a nice syntax. ORM is nice. IO is input, output, HTTP, databases. So it's like a lot of packages actually. I kind of like this kind of architecture. I hope they have one package like it's not everything inside of it. I think they have, let's see in packages, but I think you can just install what you need. Let's do here to see, but hopefully they have everything separated. So you can just, if you don't need the cache, you don't need the cache files from the library. Oh yeah, so they have everything separated. So that's really good actually. It's not, so that's why the main package we were looking to is just the main project. But after that, you have a lot of different libraries doing just one specific thing. So read only. Oh yes, I see now. Oh, that's really good. However, yeah, that one wasn't updated for a little while, but it does look really nice. Yeah, user repository. Yeah, it's also a clean code. That's why actually I speak to you about that library. However, there are not a lot of contributors, and the framework is not really highly used, but it's still a good one. For the web server, Nginx config, it depends on what server you are. So that's for the configuration. Otherwise, we can directly use the dev PHP server. Renaming project. So that's basically how to set up everything. And yes, and after for the libraries, and after that we will probably dig into, I don't know if they have a get started section. Sometimes, usually they do, but apparently not here. Oh, now it's done. Looks like that's my project. So the name of my project is my project, but maybe I will rename it to something more meaningful. Here, I will probably maybe just OpulencePHP. OpulencePHP, or maybe my OpulencePHP. Let's do that. And now let's go there. Okay, beautiful. So I will probably open the project from there in VS Code. Today I will use VS Code. I won't use PHP Storm for today because it's just simple, you know. And so here we'll dig into our project. They use also that architecture with the domain and the application. It's a different architecture. It's not really that MVC, but still. And in HTTP folder you have the controllers and the middleware and the view. So yeah, it's still an MVC actually.